Hello, IT enthusiasts. Welcome to another episode of My Computer Careers Get Into IT Live, where we do just that, get into all things IT. As always, thank you so much for joining us today, joining us on your Friday, right in the middle of the summer when you have a lot of great things to do, joining us on your Friday at lunch. We really do appreciate this 30 minutes with each of you. It looks like our guest is getting ready to join us here, so we are going to add him in just a second. By the way, this is Patricia, who's also on. Patricia,
Hi.
as everybody knows out in the audience or should know, certainly works behind the scenes on everything that we do here. So, Patricia, thank you for the assist. We will let Larry join here, and we'll get started.
Awesome.
Hey,
Awesome. You know what? I got mixed up on the time, so I'm so sorry. I'm like 1 hour behind you guys, so I just had in my head 12 o'clock here, and I'm sitting there like, oh gosh.
you know what? I wondered. That's why I sent the note, because that happens more than you would imagine. I mean, you know how it works.
I know it works.
Yeah, you have a podcast. You know, sometimes there's some confusion
With the time, that is the main thing. So, but no, I'm very excited about this.
I really appreciate you joining us. So, everybody, just so you know, today we have several themes that we go into around this. And one of the themes is we like to talk about student and grad success.
Awesome.
And our guest today, Larry Lishey, and just to make sure it is Larry, you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Larry.
Am I getting your last name right?
You said it perfectly. Usually a lot of people have a lot of problems and issues with my last name, or saying it.
Okay. All right. So Larry is a graduate of MyCC. We're going to talk about his story a little bit. But as we go live here, I just want to make a formal introduction. Larry is a SOC Analyst at Patriot Consulting Group. He's co-host of Cybersecurity 101 with Joe and Larry, and he's a MyCC grad. We've had nearly 60 episodes of this broadcast, been lucky enough to do that. And without fail, our favorite conversations are the ones we're having right now. People who have worked their way through the programs and are thriving out in the world of IT. So we've been lucky enough during our time to chat with 10 grads. We're now joined by number 11 and Larry. So Larry, officially welcome.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here.
Appreciate it so much. We have obviously a comment section. We're on all of our channels right now, even on Instagram. Amazingly, it's working. Thank you, Patricia. So if you have any questions for Larry as we go through this about his experiences and either with MyCC or out in the world, feel free to ask those, and he'll see them pop up, and we'll feed them over to him as well. So with that, with that introduction, why don't we jump into the first question I have?
All right.
Let's start with your origin story. You know, kind of like you're kind of like a DC comic superhero here. Let's talk a bit about your professional experience and your journey. Where did you start, Larry, and how did you eventually make your way into IT training at MyCC?
So, actually, I lived over in Europe for 20 years.
Wow.
So, I was playing sports there, coaching, dabbled in some music and stuff. Moved back home, I think it was in 2015, there where I was warehouse managers at a few warehouses.
Yeah.
Moved to California. Well, I met my cousin, an older cousin. He used to work for the U.S. Treasury Department as a cybersecurity. He was the head of cybersecurity there. So that's how I got kind of introduced into and liking it. And then I met Joe at a Bible study, and found out that he was into cybersecurity, and it just took off from there.
So just so everyone knows, Joe is the co-host of the podcast, of Larry's podcast.
Yes.
And so it sounds like, your background isn't unlike a lot of folks that enroll. They're doing something else. You were a warehouse supervisor, I'm sure killing it, doing really well. But it sounds like you had an interest in IT. You talked to Joe a little bit about it at Bible study, and you decided to make the leap into into studying IT?
Yeah, so actually we started with a couple of episodes back in 2019. And then from there, I said, I got to go to school, because Joe was telling me, hey, man, you got to start from the basics. And me coaching and as a player, you always start from the basics. So I said, okay, I heard a commercial about MyCC and then contacted him. And from there on,
Here we are.
here we are.
All right. I love it. So you enroll, and it's great. You completed multiple programs, which we're going to talk about a little bit more
Okay.
on down the line. You enroll and then you find a gig. Can you tell everyone kind of about your title, what you do at Patriot, and your key responsibilities there?
I work with Patriot Consulting. I am a SOC Analyst. So what I do is I have a few clients that I monitor every day. And what I do is I look for when threats come in, what I do is assess if the threat is false positive or if it's a true positive. And if it does, I escalate those up to the client. And and from then on, we take certain evasive actions and stuff too.
So you're kind of the front line of defense, if I understand correctly.
Yes. So we're the first guys.
Yeah, kind of important. All right. So going back to knowing where you are now, let's go back to school. Your journey at MyCC, you went all the way through the associate program.
Yes.
So, which is incredibly impressive. Do you mind kind of highlighting your courses, what you took away from those during your time? And you don't have to go through everything, but just to give people an idea who may not know about what we offer.
So I got to say the A+ was the most interesting one out of them all, because you actually learn, about a computer, how to, with the hardware of the computer and stuff like that. So that was very interesting. But then you go from that to network, to servers. So you just learn so much about MyCC. Gave me a broader understanding of just how everything works in the IT world.
So, and just to go a little further to let everybody know, Larry's being a little humble. He went through our ITSA program, which is our foundational program. It's our entry-level program designed to get you in the door in IT. Following ITSA, we have CSS, which is cybersecurity specialist, CSE, which is cybersecurity engineer, and then we have the associate program. So you have to go through each one of those to get to associate. So not only did you complete ITSA, you went to those advanced programs, learned all about cybersecurity, and then went and got some real world knowledge in the associate program. So a really rounded education.
Yeah. I'm so thankful that I went to MyCC. All my teachers, they were awesome. I learned so much. I didn't learn so much about the system I'm working in right now, which is Microsoft Sentinel.
Yeah.
But what I did is I learned the basic parts of everything, which I really feel that you do need the knowledge of. And it just gave me an understanding and really helped me out on my job today.
Amen. Really well said. So, that's a whole bunch of learning. You went through a lot of programs and you took in a lot of information. And I know almost as well as anyone how fast that information comes at you and how there can be times when it really gets difficult. Did you ever consider giving up?
Those boot camps are tough. I mean, you got 5 weeks to complete those modules, and you got to be on it. Plus, on top of that, I get mostly everyone works too, so it was a challenge. But my faith in the Lord and me having a plan kind of got me through everything.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. And it's not uncommon to feel like you want to give up in the program. It's not uncommon.
Yeah, it was a couple of times I was like, oh, but I had the Lord, had Joe, my wife, she toughed it out with me. So yeah, it was an adventure.
Well, that's a perfect lead into this next question. Talk about all the support, outside support that you had, because you got a lot of search, you got a lot of knowledge. Obviously, you gained information through your studies at MyCC, but did you use outside sources as well to help you gain knowledge? Was there a Professor Messer or other resources you used?
Yes. So I did use Udemy a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did get on Udemy a lot, and to figure out, to listen to extra courses, just give me just a little bit more. Now what I use is KC7. It's a game, but it actually teaches you the new KQL language that Microsoft's using. What else? I did use TryHackMe too.
Yeah.
So those are some of the other tools I did use in kind of preparing me to where I'm at right now.
So I bring that up because I think it's so important. We hear it a lot when we do these. It's important to learn or to hear a different perspective, because so much comes at you. So don't be afraid to go out there and explore outside resources to gain knowledge or to understand a concept better, because it's really important to do so. That sounds like it's what I'm hearing.
Yes, it is. It is so important to do so. So, what I did was I used those other sources along with MyCC to kind of help me out there, which it really did.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right. So let's get back to your career. We're bouncing back and forth here, Larry. You land your role at Patriot, and you kind of, I'm guessing, hit the ground running. If you don't mind, tell everybody what that first 30 days was like, what it felt like.
So actually, before I got on full time, while I was in school, I worked for Patriot part time on the weekends.
Ah.
So my first day working in Microsoft Sentinel, even though I did look at, they sent me a bunch of information to go over, and how it works, Defender and Office 365 and stuff. But when I actually sat down there, I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, what is this? So it was a little bit intimidating in the beginning, but I had the team I'm on. It's a great team, so I asked tons of questions to anybody that would give me the right answer. I asked questions to. So
really smart. Was it overwhelming? Did you feel prepared? Is there anything you might have done differently early on?
No. I think I would have actually I wish it would have had KQ7 then, because I would have actually KC7, I'm sorry. I would have known the KQL language. Wow. And I would actually knew a little bit more about how Sentinel is ran with Microsoft. So, but no, I'm really happy the path that I did take.
Okay.
MyCC was a great help. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good to hear, because I know in any job, those first 30 days, those first 60 days, there's a lot coming at you.
Oh yeah.
So to be smart enough, Larry, to go ask questions and not be afraid to say, hey, gain some knowledge from the folks that are around you. It sounds like that's really how you kind of navigated some of those processes.
Yeah. So, some of them I had a good understanding of.
Yeah.
But then there was a few that I was just sitting there like, oh. Yeah. But I had I worked with a couple of guys on the weekend, and I wasn't afraid to ask them questions like, hey man, how does this look towards you? This is what I see. You see anything different? It's another method that you will use. And then luckily the team that I am on, everybody's very helpful, from the owner of the company on down through all management. They're very, very helpful. So I don't feel like I'm just sitting on an island by myself.
Yeah, that is, having that support is so important. So you you just touched on, again, you're leading us to the next question. You're doing a great job here, leading me through this perfectly. You talked about the weekend work, and I often bring this up when I talk to pros like you. We talk about the value of just getting your foot in the door in the industry. Just get your foot in the door, whether that be on the help desk, in an internship, whatever the case may be. Then honing your skills and advancing. If you agree with that statement, and it sounds like you do, what advice do you have for somebody who is hesitant about taking that entry-level role?
I would say take it. And the thing is that once you get that understanding and you're there in the working environment under your belt, you will start understanding things a lot more, and you'll move up faster than what you ever thought.
So if I'm that person that has gone through, whether it's MyCC or anywhere else, I'm studied, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to get my career, and the only thing out there is an entry-level position, and I say, that's not for me, I want to go somewhere else, I'm going to wait another year or whatever the case may be. I think what I'm hearing is consider that entry-level position and just work your way up, because there are possibilities.
Oh yeah, because especially in what you want to do. I don't know if anyone want to get into networking or in cybersecurity or anything like that. I know Patriot right now, we're actually, I talked to the owner before I did this, if it was okay if I mentioned them. So we are looking for SOC analysts.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the things they probably would have to know is Microsoft Sentinel and Azure. But those are things you can learn on Udemy. And Patriot's a great company to work for. But in saying that, take any IT job that you can in the beginning, because it's just going to give you so much more confidence and knowledge in what you're doing. Because you're going to get the knowledge from ICC, but it's going to give you more confidence in actually working in the field. And once you get that, I feel that everything will start clicking.
There's the advice. That is great advice. Love it. Thank you for that. So to continue the conversation a little bit, you're talking about jobs being available, SOC analysts being available at Patriot.
Yes.
We know the IT industry is an in-demand and competitive space.
Yes.
How were you able to land your gig and stand out, versus the competition?
So actually, Joe is actually the owner of the company, but it took him like 3 years to hire me. So in saying that, I had to kind of show and prove to him that I was very serious about what I was talking about. So me finishing school, me working on the weekends and stuff like that was actually showing him that I was very serious about it and what I can actually do. It's a lot of companies when you're first starting off are so nervous in the beginning about hiring, especially in the cybersecurity world, SOC analysts. Most of them, if you look at it, they're like 5 years and 6 years, and you got to have this million certs. But there are ones that's out there that's willing to take that chance. And Patriot took a chance on me, and hopefully, I'm proving them right about taking that chance. So
I'm sure that you are, and that's a really important message too that I don't think we touch on enough. Sometimes it's about who you know, and it's really important to continue networking and continue to stay connected to people in the industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Okay. So you're the co-host of Cybersecurity 101 with Joe and Larry, which is where I actually found you, because you popped up, you had mentioned My Computer Career on the pod, and I then listened to it and I reached out to you. So I listened to the episode where you updated folks a bit on your journey, you provided some tips and info. Can you just tell us about the podcast and why you guys launched it?
So we launched it because Joe came up with the ideal of just telling someone that's just starting off in the industry, kind of how to get started off in the industry, and kind of going through an actual life journey through with an actual person that's looking to get into cybersecurity. So we started it, and in the beginning, we had some very, very interesting guests.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. So actually, we had, I think he was head of marketing for Citrix.
Yeah.
We had this guy, I don't know which president that he was under, but he was the head of cybersecurity, I think, for over the United States.
Wow.
We just had on there, and this is probably one of our favorite guests, Simon and Greg, the guys that started KC7, which is it's free. You can go on there. It's a game, but it actually teaches you the Microsoft language.
That's brilliant.
And these guys are brilliant. So I mean, we had some very interesting guests, but it was actually telling guys that was in my shoes at the time, kind of my journey and kind of how to get started in the industry. So yeah, so that's why we started, and that's why we're continuing to do it.
It's a great resource, and I'd encourage anybody listening, everybody listening, to go over and take a peek, and obviously subscribe and follow these guys if you're interested. So it's a good resource. So I have one last question for you, Larry, and it's for that person out there that's watching, that's maybe on the fence about whether to take the leap into an IT career, even with no experience. What would you say?
Take the leap. If it's something that you really want to do and you're passionate about, take the leap. I did. It took me close to 4 years in getting to the point to where I'm at right now. But stay persistent and just stay. Believe me, I know how you feel. You probably apply for a million jobs, because I did too. Yeah. But I just stayed with it, and then I got blessed with this one. So, but I continue to work by studying and stuff like that. So don't give up.
There's Larry, there's a lot of hard work and dedication in your story and where you are today. So you certainly earned it, and I appreciate you coming on here and talking a little bit about your journey and getting here.
Oh, thank you. I'm so. First of all, I just owe so much to MyCC for just really helping me in my IT career, and it's a lot of great people over there. I know I did. I got Gidget on on LinkedIn, so I did send her the information about Patriot. If there's anybody that is qualified.
You want to give the website where people can find Patriot?
Yeah, it's Patriot. I think it's Patriot Consulting Technology.com.
Okay.
Yeah, go check it out. It's a great company. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This has been really great, Larry. What did I miss? Anything I missed?
No. Yeah. First of all, thank you, and for just even inviting me. This is just such a great honor. Man, I was very excited about this.
We were very happy to have you. I'm so glad you decided to join us, and I'm glad you made it, even though there was a little struggle at the time. It was probably on my end. I probably didn't communicate it well enough. We're good. We're good.
No, that was me. I'm sorry.
You made it. This was really good. It's all that matters. I want to say to everyone, again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining Larry and I in this conversation. We certainly appreciate the 25 minutes you took out of your day to listen to his journey. Just a reminder to everybody, we do this every week. We do this every Friday. Next week, we hope to talk to a reporter that's going to kind of fill us in on what's going in IT. And we'll have some more details about that early next week. And then, we'll keep doing these every week until someone tells us not to. So thank you, folks. I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. We will see you here again next week. And Larry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you again.
Larry, can I get you to hang for just a second?
Yes.
All right. Bye, everybody.